So, again, my name is Clay, and I am the youngest and probably the most foolish one in the room.
But you are the prettiest.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't think that's pretty true. I wasn't the quarterback, so quarterbacks are always handsome. So,
Touché.
yeah. So, anyway, I always like to tell people, like, because my story, I was saved at a very young age, and I've been in church my whole life. I always like to tell people that there is no boring conversion story, but if there was one, it would be mine. Because I remember
The greatest miracle on earth.
That's right. Well, see, I was sitting in seminary one time in a class, and
at 6, right? You were in seminary at age 6.
that's right. Yeah. And so it was a very small class because it's an extension class in Rainsville. So there's like 4 or 5 other guys in there, and so the first night, everybody just goes around and does what we're doing right now, like tells something about themselves. And so they go counterclockwise, starting at the other end. So I'm the last one. So the first guy, he's telling this incredible story. Like, he used to like be a pagan worshiper with Greek mythology, like would worship Zeus with his buddies on the weekends with like warlocks and stuff like this. And then through this magnificent vision, God revealed himself to him and he became a Christian. Everybody's like, wow. Goes to the next guy. And the next guy, good friend of mine, his name is Dakota, tells this incredible story about how he was a drug dealer selling meth on the streets of Gadsden.
Did he do the MS-13 thing?
I don't know. He may have.
Okay. I'm
but
just trying to fix that for you.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, he's a drug dealer on the streets of Gadsden, and he decides he's going to go into the military to shape himself up, you know. So he goes into the military. He does a tour in Afghanistan, gets shot, and he's laying on the ground with blood squirting out of his body. And this medic comes over and shares the gospel with him. Up to this point, he's an atheist, and he gives his life to Christ right there in the sand. And he thinks I'm dead. And so the lights go out on him. He comes to, and he's in the hospital, and he survived. And so then he's like, if God gave me a second chance, I'm going to give him everything I've got. So he gets the call to ministry, and now he's like the youth pastor in Gadsden to the kids that he sold meth to. So there's that guy. And we're like, wow, that's incredible. Next guy is like this former rock star who used to be in this rock band with booze, women, drugs, and everything. And he's telling us all. And then God showed himself to him. It's incredible. Next guy was in a biker gang. I'm not messing with you.
Everybody's story's memorized.
I'm serious. It's bad. Like, everyone in there are heathens. Like, and like all of this stuff. Like, he was in this biker gang. They used to do all these horrible things, stuff. God showed himself. And we're like, wow, that's incredible. And they all look at me. And I was like, I got saved when I was like 5.
I was robbing Juicy Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that. So, but that's seriously my story. Like, I know a lot of kids, like as you just said, Derek, like get saved in quote. I'm doing quotes right here.
Yeah.
And then later on in life, they realized that was not correct, and that was not my story. Like, I remember vividly at like 5 years old, understanding how detrimental this was and legitimately coming to Christ. And but throughout my life, like, there's been like slaps of God. Like, I remember vividly when I was 12, I'm sitting in church one day, and it's like God spoke to me and it's like, you have done jack squat for me since you've been saved. And then I remember when I was a freshman. So full disclaimer, I met my wife in our youth group and dated her my freshman year, and then literally never dated anybody else in high school. So I was a freshman, she was a senior, and I was a cool kid. Not really, not at all, actually. But anyway, she was really serious in her faith, and I wasn't. So there's another slap. And so I started ramping up in my faith, and when I was 17, I was called to preach. And then when I was 18, Beulah Baptist Church called me to be their youth pastor. And I was there for a while, for 4 years. And then I came here to Mount Vernon. So I've been doing that ever since. 25 years old, like I said, youngest person in the room. Probably the most foolish.
But Mount Vernon is in the city limits of Albertville, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Not in the city limits. We're not in the city limits.
So
we have an
Boaz?
Albertville address.
But it's Boaz.
So the other day, I had to go get something from the post office, and I went to the Albertville post office, if that makes you feel better.
I don't know.
So was that your embarrassing story, or
No, it was not. Here's my embarrassing story, and it's pretty bad. So my freshman year of high school, it is literally my first day of high school.
Oh.
Okay. Now, as I've mentioned, and as Q was giving me verbal abuse for, I was not a cool kid in high school. Okay. And so I'm not saying I was terrified, but it's the first day of high school for an uncool kid. Okay. So the stomach begins to rumble. Okay. So I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I planned this out in my head because I'm like, well, if I go during the changing of classes, then there'll be a whole lot of people, and I don't want that. So I waited till I got to class, asked the teacher to go to the bathroom, and I do. Now, for you Albertville people, you do not know this, but anybody from Boaz will empathize here. The top story, the second story of the Boaz High School.
So second story is
Correct.
the top
Correct.
story?
It sure is.
Okay.
So,
Sorry.
it's all right. I don't know if they've reformed it now, but back in the day, it was atrocious. The men's restroom, and like didn't have a door on the stall. It was just really, really nasty and bad.
It's everything I envisioned.
I do not know that there's other bathrooms in this school that are better. This is my first day, so I go into the bathroom. There's no door on the stall. I'm like, but everybody's in class. It's cool. Like I'll just so I sit down. And I start doing my business. Right.
Oh no.
And I do my business, and I look, and there's no toilet paper. And I'm like, that's okay. That's all right. Well, I'm not freaking out because I can use paper towels over there. So I go over to the paper towels. There's no paper towels. Why we don't have toilet paper or paper towels in this forsaken bathroom on the first day of school, I do not know. So now I'm in a little bit of a panic mode. So I go back to the toilet. I'm kind of sitting there trying to ponder my possibilities. And
did you try to like dip your bottom down?
No, I did not. And to my horror, to make this worse, the door opens.
Oh no.
Also, very important for this story.
Does the door open with pants up or pants down at this point?
Pants down.
Still down, okay.
Yeah.
You
And
have a door on the stall.
when this door opens, it's full shot from the
No!
hall to
No!
Yes. Now, luckily,
So wait, all the stalls face like the door?
there's one stall. There's one stall, one urinal in this bathroom. There's no door. Now, luckily, again, it's during classes, so nobody's in the hallway for some girl to see me with my pants down in the bathroom. But the door swings open, and before this old boy gets to come into the bathroom, I've jumped up, pulled my pants up, okay? Hadn't wiped at this point, okay? It's a coach, and I'm like, praise God Almighty. Somebody's here to help me.
No, he's not.
And so I said, hey, sir, there's no toilet paper. And he says to me, man, that sucks.
Sounds like a bad first day.
And I said, I know. And I was going to go use the paper towels, and there's no paper towels either. And he goes, well, that really sucks. And so I was like, appreciate your help. So I go outside into the hallway, pants up, obviously, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life at this point. Like, what in the world? And praise God Almighty, there was assistant principal, and I was like, is there another bathroom in this school other than that one? And she's like, yes, sir. There's one. So, but that's the embarrassing story.
Wow.